Serious, and you're looking for a Christ man, the one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord, to do His will. I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put your faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on Congo.
American honor don't lack no soldiers. For the spirit of the Lord, we don't lack no soldiers. You understand me?
Saint, Black, Hispanic, Native, they hate y'all as the same. Hate Christ and they image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate African soft niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lies sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under your honor, ain't me murdered by them and got a hug from your honor. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ice agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves.
Aquí somos la Escuela Israelita del Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Hoy estamos aquí.
Lord Commander General Yohanan ISUPK.
This is what Commander General Yohanan did. This is what he did. Look at all these people.
First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge.
That's right.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Let's clap it up. Let's clap it up. Let me know if y'all can hear me up in the chat. Let me get a 1 if y'all can hear me or not. We good? All right. We good? Hey, Shalom, Lord in Christ. Israel, what's good with y'all? Priest and Officer Thawal Gabar. I got Oscar War, big priest up in here rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? You read the title. If you've seen the promo, we're going to go into Egyptology that a lot of Black people are into. We're going to go into Nikki Haley. Alexa, are you there?
I'm here. I listen once I hear the wake word.
Alexa, who is Nikki Haley?
Nimrata Nikki Haley is an American politician and diplomat who served as the 116th governor of South Carolina from 2011 to 2017 and as the 29th United States ambassador to the United Nations from January 2017 to December 2018. By the way, you have a new notification. Do you want to hear it?
No, Alexa. The water. Nikki Haley she was the governor from what did it say, 2013 to 2017? Anyway, of South Carolina. She's now running to be the top candidate of the Republican Party against Donald Trump, right? Probably like a week ago, she said, and she said this before, she said that America was not a racist country, right? So what I want to do is I'm gonna play this video and then we're gonna talk about it. Let me pull this video up. Here we go.
Earlier this week, you said that America has, quote, never been a racist country, unquote. Protections for the institution of slavery were written into the U.S. Constitution. The White House was built with slave labor. Your home state of South Carolina seceded from the Union, fought a war to defend the enslavement of Black people. I understand you don't think America is a racist country now, but we're here at a college. Do you really think as a historical matter, America has never been a racist country?
I mean, think about what you're saying. First of all, I will tell you, when you look at, the Declaration of Independence, it was that, men are created equal with unalienable rights, right? That was what we all knew. But what I look at it as is I was a brown girl that grew up in a small rural town. We had plenty of racism that we had to deal with. But my parents never said we lived in a racist country. And I'm so thankful they didn't. Because for every brown...
Now, she said her parents never told her she lived in a racist country. Now, she's supposed to be from East India. Her father is East Indian. And she changed her name because she was ashamed of her heritage, right? And she said, basically, it's like you telling your children, my parents never told me that Santa Claus didn't exist, even though Santa Claus doesn't exist. My parents never told me that racism doesn't exist, even though it does exist. All right, let me just back it up a little bit.
China seceded from the Union, fought a war to defend the enslavement of Black people. Mm-hmm. I understand you don't think America is a racist country now, but we're here at a college. Do you really think as a historical matter, America has never been a racist country? I mean, think about what you're saying. First of all, I will tell you, when you look at, the Declaration of Independence, it was that, men are created equal with unalienable rights, right? That was what we all knew. But what I look at it as...
She mentioned the Declaration of Independence. ask yourself this: where were Hispanic people during the Declaration of Independence? Where were Native American Indian people during the Declaration of Independence? Where were Black people during the Declaration of Independence? You were suffering at the hands of slavery. You were suffering at the hands of colonization. You were suffering at the hands of people that were racist towards you, and you still are. So she says America's not racist, but then proceeds to talk about, give examples of racism. The Declaration of Independence is a time when we in the ISUPK say, why in the hell are you celebrating that? It wasn't your independence. It wasn't. This is when America succeeded from Britain. Am I right? When America got their independence from Europe. Meanwhile, you're getting chased down and massed. How shall I say? Unalived. I'm trying to get better. You're getting executed unalived by the Texas Rangers. You're getting you're going to war with the U.S. cavalry as Gadites, and you're in slavery as Judites. So when the bombs is bursting in the air, when they're celebrating and having a good time, you're still at the hands and you're suffering from slavery in America. I'm gonna keep going.
Is I was a brown girl that grew up in a small rural town.
She threw that out there real quick. I was a brown girl. Meanwhile, she can pass for a white woman. Right. She can literally pass for a white woman. She had to put that in there. I was a brown girl. Like I was in South Carolina around all these white folks, and I was a brown girl, and I had to, go through them telling me to go back to my country. Go ahead, Oscar Ward.
And also, East Indians. There's East Indians here today who are in the 7-Elevens. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
They're brown, just like a so-called black man is brown.
Right.
Some of them are even darker than some brothers.
You're right about that.
That don't mean that it's same people.
You're right. You
That don't mean a cop is gonna pull over an East Indian and what's the last East Indian you saw get shot down like brothers had? No.
Man, come on, Oscar Ward. Like Oscar Ward just brought it out, man. Like they are. Like East Indians are different shades of brown, like the tribe of Issachar. So let me see. Let me change this scene up. East Indians are like the tribe of Issachar. East Indians are like they go for a lighter shade of brown to a dark brown, and sometimes they're even darker than black people. But when they black. Let me pull one up. Real quick. Let me show you what East Indians can look like. When they're dark, they're a different kind of dark.
Yeah, it's like a unattractive sloggy.
Nah, you correct.
They're just definitely a different tone. They're not in the same color spectrum as brothers.
Right.
Us. They're in a whole separate.
And listen, when it comes to the truth, right now we're talking about the color of the skin, but when it comes to the truth, we're not looking at people's colors of the color of a person's skin. A lot of times when it comes to us speaking the truth on the streets and people being against us, what they say is that we're racist because we're talking about the color of white people. It's white people just happen to be white. If white people were blue, or if they were purple or green or yellow, we would still talk about them and we'll call them the yellow man is the devil. The purple man is the devil. Because at the end of the day, it's about their deeds. It's about the crimes. It's about what they have done, not about what they look like. It's never about that. But we all have to describe different people in the world. And the description of the oppressor is the Edomite. He is the nation of Esau. And he is also blonde hair and blue eye, red hair, brown eye, red hair, blue eye. He is the people that you know today as Caucasian people, right? So when it comes to color, it doesn't really matter. But when it also comes to color, people use that to benefit them when it's convenient. Like Nikki Haley is saying, I was a brown girl. Now I'm gonna show you the different types of. Let me find one. Let me find one of those. You know what they call? They call Dravidians. These are like the original East Indians. Them original East Indians, boy, I tell you, man. Let me show you something. Y'all just bear with me. I'm finna pull it up right now. Let me get back where I want to be. Right here. Let me pull this tab over here. Chrome tab. That's what I want. Here we go. See that? Oh, Salagia. This is what we're talking about. This is what Oscar Ward was talking about. When they're dark-skinned East Indians, this is how they look. But they go from dark to a lighter shade of brown. And the lighter shade of brown is usually what you see in the 7-Elevens, in the convenience stores. You don't really see the dark-skinned ones over here in America like that. You might get some of them are like my color over here in America, but these East Indians, this is what they look like. So let me just drop that. Now let me just say, that's a different kind of black. Like, that's dark skin, but that's not regalia dark skin. You know what I'm saying? That's a different kind of dark skin than a nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's damn near blue. It's like an African. You know what I mean? It's not that beautiful dark chocolate black. You know what I mean? Let me drop this and get back to the story.
We had plenty of racism that we had to deal with. But my parents never said we lived in a racist country.
She said we had plenty of racism we had to deal with. My parents never said we was in a racist country. So your parents didn't admit it. The sister in the comments said my parents used to tell me that America was racist. Right. Like especially in the Black and Hispanic community, we don't lie to our kids and tell them something don't exist that actually exists. Like racism, like something to be aware of, like something to look out for, like to watch out for gringo, you know what I mean? To watch out for these people, you know what I mean? Let me keep going.
And I'm so thankful they didn't. Because for every brown and black child out there, if you tell them they live or were born in a racist country, you're immediately telling them they don't have a chance.
She said, when you tell your children the truth, basically what she's saying is, when you tell your children the truth, you're telling them they don't have a chance. When you telling your children that America is against Mexicans, that America only wants to use Mexicans, that America is not, America is racist. When you're telling them the truth, that means that you're setting them up for failure. In the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, under Christ, we tell you that when you tell your children the truth, you are liberating them. You are freeing them from mental slavery that so many Black and Hispanic people go through on a day-to-day basis. You are freeing them from making the mistake of loving another people from another race and going through all types of hardships. I'm going to get into that after this story. You are freeing them. The Bible says that the truth will set you free. That's what the Bible says. It says the truth will set you free. Not lies, not holding things back, not acting like it doesn't exist. The truth will set you free. And she's going to sit here and say that, you know, you're hurting a Black kid if you tell him about slavery, if you tell him that white people are racist, when in fact they are racist. Go ahead, Ashwar.
And also, if I could, she don't make no sense because, of course, she don't even look like an East Indian, right?
Right.
She look like Like a white woman.
Listen, that's why she changed her name. Because she can pass for a white woman. She changed her name. Hold on. Watch this with Alexa. I want y'all to catch what it calls her. It says her East Indian name first. Numerata or something like that. Watch. Alexa. Are you there? Alexa. Alexa.
Then you gotta say it. She said I respond when you say a certain word.
Sorry, there is nothing for me to resume.
Alexa, who is Nikki Haley?
Nimrata Nikki Haley,
Nimrata,
politician and diplomat who served as
Alexa, stop. Nimrata, Nikki Haley, but she don't go by Nimrata, Mahat Gandhi. She don't go by that. She goes by Nikki Haley. You know why? Because as you can just look at her, she can pass for a Caucasian woman. She has the whole blueprint down, and she talks like them. She's a Republican, and she talks just like them. So, like, I didn't mean to stop you in your point, but go ahead.
No sweat, sir. Like, and that's heavy because a brother, an Issacharite, a Native Indian can't do that. You understand? We don't have a traditional name. We don't even have traditional language. So we automatically got a white man's name, Jackson, Hernandez, or,
right?
You know, the Native Americans, they got names like straight white names,
right?
So we already got our names changed, but we can't pass as a so-called Edomite because we got the face of an Issacharite. We got the face of who we are. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't. I doubt she faced any racism because she don't look like an East Indian, and even if she did, the racism that they suffered can't even touch the racism that we suffer.
Right.
And
that's so heavy. Go ahead.
And her saying that if you tell your children, she's like, I'm glad my parents didn't tell me racism existed, because then I would never had a chance. Well, that don't make no sense because there's tons of sisters from what the statistics that I've heard about, sisters are the ones going to college the most.
Right.
And they parents told them about racism. Right. So then why are they successful in college? They're not supposed to be because they know about racism, according to her.
You bring a heavy point out. Now, what the brother was saying is heavy because he's saying that there's a lot of sisters, there's a lot of women that are at high numbers going to college and being successful, and their parents told them about racism. Listen, the whole reason this is crazy. The whole reason why you have a Shaquille O'Neal, or you have give me a baseball player, LeBron James. Give me some baseball.
I'm not even good with baseball.
I mean, so like, but the point is that the whole reason why you have these brothers and sisters in entertainment, okay, why they're successful is because they worked hard because of racism. The whole reason why you have black people and Hispanic people in areas of government, and you have them in these jobs where it's damn near impossible to get there because you're black and Hispanic, it's because of racism. They had to work 2-3 times harder than everyone. Oh shit! We got an earthquake in the middle of class. So like we good, Doc. We good. It's damn near that you got to work 3 to 4 times harder, and it's because knowing in the back of your head that that's what they expect from you, because they don't think that you are like them. They don't think that you're smart enough. They don't think that you are capable. So because of racism, that's why blacks and Hispanics excel. That's why we excel in America, because of all the obstacles that are against us. Okay. Barry Bonds, the sister said, Barry Bonds, the water, Renee. The sister said Barry Bonds. When I think about baseball, I never really think about brothers. I think about the tribe of Manasseh and Simeon and Issachar. Really, the tribe of Manasseh and Simeon is where the white man goes for those baseball players. You know what I mean? When he wants somebody to knock it out the ballpark, he'll fly over there to recruit somebody that's hitting a baseball through a damn carton. Poor as hell. You know what I mean? But yeah, getting back to it, what the brother said was heavy about, you know, we are taught about racism, and that's why we go 10 times harder. That's why we stick to it. And that's why you see Black and Hispanic and Native Indian people succeed in the white man's kingdom, because in the back of their mind, they know what time it is. They know that exists. And they're trying to be the best and a better example to show, look, hey, I'm not like what you think. I'm not like that. You know, I'm different, you know. Anything else you was going to?
Yeah, and real quick, so it's like
excuse me.
They're still trying to push the agenda to dumb down slavery, to dumb down what we've been through. They want to dumb it down, and that's why they're doing this.
Excuse me.
They want
Right.
They want us to forget about it. They want to just get it over, stop talking about it. Let's forget about it, and let's start new.
Let's forget about it. Let's refresh. Let's reset. Let's reset while you still have the pain, while you still have the memories, while there's still people that are living, that are elderly, 90, 80, 90, 100 years old, that can tell you. My grandmother told me. My grandmother has dementia right now. So my grandmother, she can't communicate like she used to be able to communicate. But before that happened, I remember asking my grandmother about her childhood and how it was. My grandmother from a small town called Pauline, Texas. And she said it was racist. And she said her mother had came to California, to start over. And she could not wait to come to California with her mother to get away from the racism in Texas. My grandmother told me that. Point is, there are elderly people that still living that know the effects of slavery, that are a great grandchild of a slave, the great grandchild of somebody that went through the Spanish War, the great grandchild that somebody that knows about the white man's about the things they done to the Native American Indians in those boarding schools, abusing them and beating them and molesting them. You know what I mean? Anything else on that? Salaki, I'll give me some water. The water. I'm gonna keep going. Y'all rock.
And my parents would always say, you may have challenges. And yes, there will be people who are racist, but that doesn't define what you can do in this country. And so I think it's important that we tell all kids that, look, America is not perfect. We have our stains.
She says that it determines what you can do in America. Even though it's racism, you can still do what you need to do in America. Hell, we still do what we need to do in America. We still go to work. We still slave. We still go to school. We still become successful. We still do the things that you're supposed to do in the kingdom, even though there is racism. She said it as though not admitting that racism is there will increase the chances of you being successful. Here's the thing. I'd rather you tell me that you're racist. I'd rather you show it and put it in front of me. Put it on your chest. Let me know that you're a stinking racist, so I know what time it is and I know how to deal with you. I will respect you. I will respect the KKK. I will respect a white person that says, you know what, I don't like you niggas and spics. I would respect that instead of the one that smiles in your face at the same time he's hating. At the same time, he's trying to not let you get a promotion. At the same time, he's saying, no, we're not accepting applications right now. At the same time, he's hiding behind the color of law and the color of penal codes. And he's hiding behind, trying to just do business when really he don't like you. Just tell me that you don't like me. That will make me move how I need to move. That will make me do the things I need to do, knowing that you hate me, and I respect it. Like, you ain't messing with me, you ain't effing with me. Cool. Ask me, do I give a damn? Right. But at least I know. At least you're not smiling in my face and acting a certain way, like you like my people, like you care about my people, when really you are a devilish dog behind the scenes. Let me keep going. What the brother? What Kodash say? Right. The root to
We
all
know
the
that,
issues.
but our goal should always be to make today better than yesterday. It's hugely important, and that's the problem I have is we have too many people with this national self-loathing. It is killing our country.
She said, we got too many people with this national self-loathing, meaning this national self-hate, where people hate America. We need to make tomorrow better. You can't make tomorrow better if you're not willing to look at the sins of the past. You have to face the truth of the past. You have to face what you've done. And in the fact that you are not willing to face the truth shows who you really are. And she is not even an Edomite. We go hard and we flame on the nation of Edom, on the tribe. I'm going to say the tribe, but the nation of Esau for their crimes against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But she's not even from the nation of Esau. She's an East Indian. Tell me, why is she a carbon copy? Why is she speaking something that any Caucasian person would say from the Republican Party? It's because that's the culture of America. It's for that the same reason that a black cop, a Hispanic cop will go harder on a Hispanic man or a black man. It's because they are in the culture of their oppressor. They have followed the culture of their oppressor, and so they think like it. No different from her. She's an East Indian, but she thinks straight American. She's straight up American, Republican, and that's the same thing you see every day with black and Hispanic police law enforcement. They're in that culture, so they're going hard on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They're trying to prove a point to their co-workers, to those white co-workers, when they go hard on you. Let me get if you could give me Zechariah 11:5. You're right, Halak. It's another Kamala Harris. Another Kamala Harris. That's all it is. Kamala Harris looks black, right? Hey, I'm glad you brought that up, Bach. Kamala Harris, everybody was getting behind her because she'd be the first vice president black woman. But she's not, her father is not black. Her father is East Indian. And now you have Nikki Haley, that is she can pass for white. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Go ahead, give me that.
So the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5.
Uh-huh.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Now, you just heard what I said. I said that she is not, she's not from the nation of Esau, but she has the spirit of Esau. To say that, let's forget about the past. Let's forget about slavery. And that is the nature of America. America rape, robbed, and murdered. I can't say rape. They SA'd you, robbed and murdered you, sexually assaulted you, robbed and murdered you, and stole the land, put black people in slavery. Then they say, let's forget about it. Why we want to talk about that? Why we want to tell our children about that? What was the thing they was talking about in schools? What is it called? Critical race theory. Why we want to tell our children, black and brown children, that these people are oppressors? That's not right. That's the spirit of America. They did all these things, but then they hold themselves not guilty. They say they're not guilty. Read it again from the top.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
And they hold themselves not guilty by saying America was never a racist country. America was built off of capitalism, not racism. Well, what is capitalism? Capitalism is business owners owning property and having people work for them to make a product, to manufacture a product, to sell, to make money. Well, what was the first product, the first thing manufactured in America? It was slaves. It was humans. It was people. So even if you want to look at it that way, that America never was racist, it was capitalist. Well, the first capital of America they was dealing in human bodies. They was trading bodies. That's what they was doing. So you can't get around the fact that America was a racist country. Did she forget about what happened to the Native American Indians? Did she forget about all the Indian wars, the Seminole Indians, Wounded Knee, all of those battles that they went through, all of those treaties that were broken, them calling them savages and, you know, they don't deserve the land and manifest destiny? Did she forget about that? People like her need a history lesson, right? The founding fathers, they had slaves. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington. George Washington, listen, George Washington. George Washington had slaves. He used his slaves' teeth to put in his mouth. George Washington had dentures that were made from the teeth of slaves and horses. That's historical facts. These are the founding fathers that wrote, you know, the Constitution, all that they love so much. They murdered our people, and then they hold themselves not guilty. Give me Ecclesiastes 5 and 8.
Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
If thou seest the oppression of the poor,
mm-hmm.
and violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter. For he that is higher.
I'm sorry, read it from the top one more time.
Concert. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 8. If thou seest the oppression of the poor.
If you see the oppression of the poor, you see the oppression of the poor. Go ahead.
And violent perverting of judgment.
And the perverting of judgment. That's what I wanted to get to. This is the perverting of judgment.
Right.
You know why? Because now you went from not apologizing for slavery, not apologizing for the crimes in the past, to saying, don't tell your children about it. Don't teach it in schools. You're perverting the judgment. You know why? Because you deserve judgment for that. Right. America deserves judgment for what they've done to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And now politicians are perverting that, but with critical race theory, and saying that America was never a racist country. Right. So in the minds of people are like, yeah, let's just move forward. Let's just move on. People are not thinking like, nah, that, like if you're teaching that, if you're telling the truth about history, people will remember and say, man, damn, that's messed up. They need to pay for that. But now you're saying no. So now people are looking at it like, okay, let's move on. They're not looking at it like, you know what? America is cold. They deserve what they're gonna get. Whatever happens in America, they deserve it. People are not going to not think like that, because they're saying, don't even teach it to your children. Don't even mention it to your children. If you do mention it to your children, you're setting them up for failure. Keep reading.
If I could, sir.
Go ahead.
And that's heavy. That's like saying with the 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
That's like them coming out and saying,
damn, I swear you dropping jewels. Go ahead.
Just saying, sir, like that's like them saying, like, you know what, let's just, everybody's like, what she's doing is like someone saying, if they came out on the news and said everybody has been to war, nations have been to war with each other. You know, worse things have happened in the past than what happened to 9/11. We got to let it go. We got to stop celebrating it every year. You know, all the graves, the soldiers who died in battle, we just got to get rid of it. Let's just forget about them.
Right.
The family of those soldiers are going to throw an uproar. Americans are going to throw an uproar for 9/11.
They'll go crazy.
It's history.
Yep.
So her saying this, she's not saying it, but she's indicating it, saying, I face racism. You know, we need to stop looking at America as this terrible place that enslaved Black people and Native Indians. Because I've been through racism too.
Right. I'm a brown girl. Yeah.
Bullied and being put in shit like sardines and being slaughtered is different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's how that's how I'm thinking about it. Because you know, when I first heard it, I was like, okay. But then you start thinking about it, is a big deal what she's trying to do. Like they're really trying to just forget. It's like what I said.
Like you said, it's a big deal, and she's right up under Donald Trump in the support of the Republican Party. So you got people that actually support what she's saying. Right. Of course, you know who they are, but they support what she's saying. Like, and you know this, we know this in the truth that a lot of times you see this online, brothers and sisters that are, you know, you in the truth. You see online a lot of times in different stories that the racism that America has, you really notice it on social media, and they always talking about stop being a victim, stop talking about it, stop talking about it. They don't even want to hear about it. It hurts their ears, it hurts their eyes to read about it, to hear about it. They don't want no parts of it, so they'll attack you for. Let's just let it go. It was in the past, but what you said about that, about it, what did we used to say? You know, don't tell your children about 9/11. If you do, you're setting them up for failure. Right. They would go crazy. Right. They'd be like, get her off the stage right now. Get her, exit left. Get her up out of here. You know what I mean?
They would storm the damn what's that place they stormed?
The Capitol. The Capitol. Hey, they do the Capitol again. They'd be like, I'm catching the case. White people would be like, you know what? I'm catching the case. I'm going to the Capitol. I'm taking all my family, and we finna go bust in that thing. We're gonna bust into this wherever they at, we finna bust in there. That's definitely what they do because that's the nature of them. You know what I mean? Sister said that's fact, sir. In school, it was said that they rather tell us the fake history than the real. That's why they push us. They push to use the Wikipedia, which is a lot of false information. Right. So you got to be careful with Wikipedia. What she said brings up a good point that Wikipedia is good for general information, right? But you got to check different sources and siphon through it so you know that you're getting the correct information, because when it comes to Wikipedia, anybody can upload information for a particular story. So when you're looking up something, just remember that this is being uploaded by people, regular people like you and me. Okay. Quadash said Numbers 35 and 33. You shall not pollute the land. It's like it. Right, right. Most High in Christ. Was you done with that precept?
For me, sir?
Yeah, was you done with that one?
There's still more on it.
Okay, go ahead.
Con, if thou seest, so like we're at Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 8. If thou seest the oppression of the poor and violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter.
Don't marvel at it. Like what we're seeing right here, I'm talking about it, but I'm not surprised. In the truth, we're not surprised. We expect what we expect from the culture of America. It's been this way for 400 years. Why would it change? This shouldn't be surprising. It shouldn't be a shocker. You know what I mean? It's not a news flash, but it is. The Bible tells you, don't be surprised. Go ahead.
For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they.
Right. For he that is high. So meaning when it all boils down, the Most High is going to judge this kingdom for the evil that they have done to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, for the erasing or the erasure of the history. It reminds me of ancient Egypt, how ancient Egypt, that would be another class, but you know, the scholars say that the Israelites were never in ancient Egypt. They can't agree because the timelines just don't line up, right? When it comes to the Israelites being in ancient Egypt. But there's a lot of archaeology that proves that there was Semitic people in ancient Egypt. And the thing about it is, when it came to the Egyptians would erase you off of the records if it was something embarrassing. So something like, now let me just say, they do have a record in stone of a 7-year famine. They got the famine written in stone. But when it comes to like something that's embarrassing, they would erase you, or a pharaoh that was embarrassing, they would erase him off. They'll just take you off the hieroglyphics. So many people say, why would they put, Moses or, them, the Israelites leaving Egypt in all of those plagues? Why would they put that or leave that up in the records? They wouldn't, because the type of people they were, they wouldn't record it. So the white man says, well, the Israelites were never in Egypt. They were never there. But there's plenty of, evidence that Semitic people were there. Go ahead.
It's like what America's trying to do right now.
And that's what I'm saying. That was the point. That was the point that I was getting to, that you want to erase.
Right.
You want to erase what you've done to us in order to look. You want to reset. You want to reset without giving retribution and without reconciling what you've done. Like, listen, I don't give a damn about what they call it, reparations and all that. I don't care about that. But the point is that America hasn't even apologized. The United Nations said America committed war crimes, crimes against humanity with the things they've done to Black and Hispanic people. America won't even admit it. They won't even admit it. They won't even say it. They'll get angry if you even talk about anything pertaining to history and the evil that they've done. Now, you do have some Caucasian folks that when they hear what they've done, they say they feel sorrowful, and they are sorry, and they agree that something needs to happen and that they deserve what they deserve, right? But but like I said, America will never actually say, you know what, we're wrong. We're wrong for that. And like a true payment, a true righteous payment or recompense, you can't even calculate that in numbers. You can't calculate that in money. You can't put that in a monetary form. Like when you talk about monetary, you talk about monetary, right? When it comes to monetary, when I say monetary, I mean money. You talk about monetary, and they say, well, you don't deserve that. Well, the Jewish people got monetary reparations. They still get it today. America gives the Jewish people, millions of dollars a year. Germany gave the Jewish people millions of dollars. They got how can you pay back what you've done to a person in this world today? There's only really one way to do it. I mean, if you take something from somebody, you can restore it and give it back. Well, even with that, that's asking too much, because you would have to give back damn near all of America back to the Native Indians and the Mexicans. Then you talk about the crimes and things you've done and the forced labor and not getting paid. I mean, the number is just tremendous. It's like, $15-16 trillion that you would have to give Black people. You know what I mean? But anyway, let me drop that. Let me get what I want. Give me Proverbs 18:5.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 18, and verse 5. It is not good to accept the person of the wicked, to overthrow the righteous in judgment.
So that's what you're seeing is right here. Namarata, whatever her name is, sound like an anime. Namarata, Nikki Haley, is saying that America is not a racist country. So she's going to, what you call it? Accept the wicked and overthrow the righteous, meaning Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, by saying, don't talk about it. It never happened. It never was a racist country. Everybody knows it was, but she's giving favoritism or favor to the wicked, which is America, and saying the hell with you folks that went through racism, by saying that it didn't exist. Okay. Give me Isaiah 10:4. 10:1. 10:1.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed.
Right. So this is the unrighteous decree. Unrighteous decree is like saying, the war on drugs never happened. Slavery never happened. Racism doesn't exist. Manifest destiny. God gave the Europeans this land. The best man wins. We fought the wars. We got the land. It's ours. That's an unrighteous decree. That's unrighteous. You know what I mean? But we know we're dealing with a people who are not righteous. We're dealing with a people who are the wicked of the earth. Give me Job 9:24. We're dealing with a people who are the physical embodiment of Satan here on earth. If you didn't know, Satan and the devil is two different things. But we're dealing with the devil here on earth.
The book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Mm-hmm.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Uh-huh.
If not, where and who is he?
The Bible says that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. That the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And the wicked is who is in rulership. The Bible says the people mourn when the wicked are in rulership. But when the righteous are in rulership, the people rejoice. There's a wicked group of people that is running the earth right now. They are not righteous. They are not compassionate. They don't have empathy. They don't have sympathy. They don't have understanding. They don't have a conscience. They can't understand your pain. They only love the people that look like them. And the people that don't look like them, sometimes they might feel sorry for. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. It also says that he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Who are the judges? He covers the faces of the judges. He covers the faces of the Israelites. He paints himself as the people of God. He paints himself as the angels. He paints himself as Christ. He paints himself as the Most High. That's who the wicked are. That is the wicked on this earth. If not, who and where is he? What people is he? I think you understand. I think that description only describes one group of people. And if you can't get it, I can't help you. You know what I mean? If you could let's get I'm gonna go into this video. Let me get this video. Let me drop this. We're gonna get this pastor, man. Now, recently there was a video that came up with a pastor talking about interracial marriage. Now, it's an older video, but this pastor, he's a controversial pastor. He's a white pastor, okay, and from Tennessee. So I'm gonna get that video. Let me pull it up for y'all.
Not holy, not wonderful, and everybody should do it. Friends, it's worldly. Why is it so many black basketball stars, black football stars, black baseball stars want a white wife? Why? Lord have mercy. It's another defiance of God's law. It is a worldly way. And then it creeps over into the message. Tell me what's the difference in preaching against bobbed hair, painted face, shorts, all this, that, and other, being worldly, and we let this worldly means come right in, and we're afraid to say one thing about it. And let me tell you right up front, any of you young people, you want to marry a black man, you girls, don't ask me to do it, because I will not.
Now, I'm sure y'all heard that. Now, this is the pastor. He's saying, why is all of these NFL players and NBA players going and getting married to white women? He said it's a worldly way. he said it's a worldly way. What's the point of preaching about against the world and you allowing that in your church? If you're a white girl and you want to get married to a black man, don't come ask me, because I'm not gonna marry you. Well, I seen a video and I seen a lot of black Christians, white Christians saying, what is wrong with this pastor? He is Satan in the flesh. You know what? That he kind of right, and he kind of right according to the Bible. The way he said it wasn't right. Historically, you know, they not the Israelites, but according to the Bible, the Lord does want you to be with your own kind, especially when it comes to the Israelites. You know what I mean? He said, why is all, and that's another thing what he brought out. But you know, that devilish thing in him was like, he didn't just talk about regular brothers that get with white women. He talked about NFL players and NBA players, which in our community, we know that happened. We know the minute a Negro gets some money, he'd rather go give that money and put that money in the hands of another race than the sister that he grew up with in the hood. He'd rather go give his power, I'm gonna say power, and all of his resources to another woman of another race. It's a very, very common thing in the Black and Hispanic community, where brothers get money, they get successful, they done grew up in the hood their whole life, then they get with some woman that don't even understand their way in their struggles. They get with a woman that doesn't look like their auntie, doesn't look like their grandma, doesn't look like their mother. They get with a woman that they think is the pinnacle of success and a trophy and the symbol of beauty. And they always pay for it. They always pay for it. You know why they always pay for it? It's because the Lord said he is against it. Give me that out.
So Deuteronomy 4 and
let me see. I believe it was 7 and 3.
So Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. Mm-hmm. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Oh, so like it, skip up then. Give me verse 2.
So Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them, mm-hmm, and utterly destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them,
mm-hmm,
nor show mercy unto them.
So the Israelites is, when the Lord says you go into these places and you destroy these places and you take the city, at the end of it all, don't try to make covenants with these people, right? Because in ancient times, when you were a people that were against another people, in order to bring peace, a lot of times what people would do would marry their daughter off to the son to bring peace between both peoples, both groups of people. This happened a lot of times. This was very common in ancient times. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Neither shall thou make marriages with them. We're talking about other nations, other nationalities, or in this day and age, other races. The Lord is against interracial unions. Go ahead.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
So you don't give your daughter unto his son. Go ahead.
Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Nor don't take his daughter unto your son. Your son, as a Hispanic man, he bring home an Edomite woman. You tell him, son, hell no. Right. I'm not going to approve this. What's wrong with getting a woman from your people? There's nothing wrong with that. Take pride in that. Go ahead.
Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me.
For they will turn away their son from following me. And we're going to get to that with King Solomon. And I'm going to break that down so you understand how a woman can turn a man from following the Lord. Go ahead.
That they may serve other gods.
That they may serve other gods. Go ahead.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you.
Keep going.
And destroy thee suddenly.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy you suddenly. O.J. Simpson, Tiger Woods. Do I need to keep going on? I mean, I think you get the point. We have enough examples of what the brother that was acting, getting chased down the street by a white woman, Jonathan Majors. Yeah. Like, how many examples do you Negroes need to understand that you should just be with the woman of your youth, the woman from your bosom, the woman that you grew up with in the hood, the woman that will understand when you having a bad day, the woman that will understand you from a cultural perspective. She's from the hood. She understands what you're going through. How in the hell can Nikki Haley understand what the hell you're going through? Lamar Odom. Sister Barathana would just put in there Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom was destroyed. Lamar Odom was found in a goddamn brothel, high off of crack. Nigga almost died. Kobe Bryant had to get him back on track. Messing with Khloe Kardashian, Kanye West. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Kanye West, Kim Kardashian. She not an Edomite, but they Medianites, right? They are they're Armenians, right? They're not our people. Destroyed. Tiger Woods, Olivia Arnold put in Tiger Woods. Right. The brother Kodash said, you're going to get with the enemy that don't even understand your struggle. Lamar was finished. Lamar was on crack, strung out, and he's finished even right now. Like the brother can't even piece together a whole damn sentence half the time on the interviews that I've seen. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? It's sad, but he comes from a family of drug addiction. You know what I mean? And then just getting with the wrong woman even destroyed him even that much more. You know what I mean? Bill Cosby putting pills in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? Putting pills in the pudding. You know, then 30 years later they come back and saying, "Oh yeah, he drugged me." You know what I'm saying? What somebody said? Tiger Woods woman beat the hell out of him when he was with her. She put hands on him. I think she hit him with one of his clubs. She didn't go to jail or nothing. She ended up getting like half of his money. The woman that he was with, okay, let me see if I can remember this right. The woman he got with, the Edomite woman he got with, was a maid. She ended up beating the hell out of the nigga, and then got half of his money when they separated. She went from being a maid, beating the nigga like a slave with a golf club, to getting half of his money. I mean, the Lord just gave you plenty of examples. Am I saying that Black and Hispanic relationships don't go through turmoil or go have hardships, ups and downs? That's not what I'm saying. But how can they understand what you went through? How can they understand your upbringing? And vice versa, how can you understand their upbringing? Unless you're forcing yourself and you're trying to be that token nigga, that token, that token Negro that wants to be around them. So you trim your Salaki, can you give me that one? Trim your ways. So you trim your ways. You trim your ways, you change your ways. You know what I'm saying? You go clean cut. Let me shave. Let me cut my hair off. Let me get a nice little taper. Let me get the little pin. Let me just shave my face. I'm gonna just shave my face, clean cut. I'm gonna wear polos and Dockers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna fit in.
It's Jeremiah 2:33.
Go ahead.
Why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love?
Why you trim your ways to seek love? You're trying to seek love from a people that hated you, man. You're trying to seek love from the descendants of people that had your family in chains and had no remorse. You're trying to seek love from a people that got you so down bad that you're willing to run into a damn store and rob everybody. They got you out in the streets selling drugs to your people, trying to make it, trying to put food on the table, trying to feed your family. Got your back against the wall, man. Your back is spiritually and mentally against the wall, physically against the wall. You wondering how you gonna pay your goddamn rent to this day when your ancestors worked 16 hours for free in the goddamn field. Your people today work 16 hours in the damn field picking grapes and fruits and all kind of things and getting paid $2, $1.65 a goddamn day so that white people can be comfortable and eat a goddamn salad on their dinner table, man. Why would you even want to be around those people? I don't understand it, man. The Lord is trying to show you something through the IHBK. Love your people. Love the people of your nation. Keep going, Maat.
You want to read it again, sir?
You can drop that on. Where was he at? What preset was he on before that? You can just drop it. Hold up. Give me Tobit 4 and 12. Now that video was crazy because the pastor, I'm gonna play it one more time while the brother get it. That video is crazy. Hold on, let's see. I can put it back up.
Not holy, not wonderful, and everybody should do it. Friends, it's world.
Hey, they up in there saying, preacher brother. He said, it's not holy. It's not holy to be with people of another race. And all of you Christians that say that he's wrong, no, you're wrong. Because that's what God says. He may be off. He may be a little racist. But God says the same thing. What in the hell is your Christian pastor teaching you that you think that he's wrong? Or you think that the ISUPK is wrong for saying that we should stick with our own race? That's what you should ask yourself.
Why is it so many black basketball stars, black football stars, black baseball stars want a white wife? Why?
He said, why they want a white wife? And you think it's racist. You think something is wrong with him. Nigga, something is wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Something is wrong. Something is wrone with you where you can't see the truth and you can't look at all the examples of things going down bad for brothers that went that route. There's stories of sisters. I remember the sister that was like 2 years ago. It was a big linebacker, defensive linebacker, white man from the Seattle Seahawks, and he beat the hell out of a sister. She posted a picture. She was lumped up. He big, 6'6", put hands on her, but she was in a relationship with him. They had been together for a while. Y'all think it's all good because you see the commercials. You see they put it in the movies now. They put it in everything now. They push it just like they push LGBTQ, and you think that it's all fun and games till you end up at the bottom of a pool at a party like that sister that got taken out by. Don't nobody know what happened. She's at a party with her friends. She with her dude who was a white dude, and then she ended up at the bottom of the party, at the bottom of the pool, drowned to death. And nobody at the party, not even her boyfriend, know what happened. Or about the sister that's she with a whole, she in a picture with like 5 white girls. They got on pajamas. They had a cabin. She ended up dead, thrown off the balcony, and nobody knows what happened. You better wake the hell up. Go ahead, Sawab.
That's one thing my mother, she raises in Christianity, but one thing that the Lord always was working on, she always told me and my brother, I said, don't you bring no white witch home. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. My older brother, he didn't listen. That was his thing. Like he's the opposite of me.
Oh, okay.
In the world, he was successful. Everything he did turned to gold.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? He died at 24.
Damn.
But he was messing with this white woman whose dad was a highway patrolman, was retired at the time that I got introduced to him through my brother. Didn't like her feeling at all, but my brother ended up dead off of embankment, drove in his car off. We don't know how it happened, don't know what, he didn't have no drugs, nothing in the system. So, but I'm saying, just, man, it just messed up because we knew, even when she showed up to the funeral, that was something on her side that something didn't go right.
Right.
We don't know, but her dad is a highway patrolman, high regard up there. I believe this. I believe they had something to do with my brother's car going haywire or something. You know what I'm saying? I think they murdered him.
Right.
But we don't have no proof of it. But yeah, and just the man, it was always a problem. Every time she came around the thing, we didn't know why my brother. I used to try to pull his coat to the black and Hispanic females that liked him in his college. He went to St. Mary's University. Then that's where he was murdered at. But saying all that to say, yeah, man, we need to stick to our own because these people hate us.
Right.
The Bible tells us that. I didn't know that back when my mom was really on it. Like, like she always told me, you better not bring no white witch over here to my house to meet me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I listened to
Mom told you don't bring no white woman home.
Man, yes, sir.
That's crazy. But that's how it should be, though. It shouldn't be where yeah, son, you know, slavery don't exist. And yeah, go, you know, you love who you love. God gon', you know, love is love. I can't stand black and Hispanic parents that tell their kids things like that because you're in error. All love ain't the same love. You know what I mean? Whether it's LGBT love or it's interracial love, it's not the same as loving your own kind. You understand? Like the Bible prescribes you to do. Let me keep playing this and then I'm gonna get this precept.
Lord have mercy. It's another defiance of God's law.
I mean, I can't even argue that. He said it's a defiance of God's law. I thought in the Christian church, they don't teach the law, right? That's probably why they're so angry. Because he didn't say, plead the blood of Jesus. Have you ever been swallowed? He didn't say that. He said it's a defiance of God's law. I mean, hell. I mean, the Christian church started keeping God's law, everybody would get right. And I'm not talking about Edomite, but damn. Like, you can't even, we just read the law where the Lord says, don't give your daughters to their sons and don't give your sons to their daughters. Right? Oh, Salakia.
A white wife. Lord. It's another defiance of God's law. It is a worldly way. And then it creeps over into the message.
I don't know what the hell that means. He said, it's a worldly way. And then it creeps over into the message. I guess he meant that, and then everybody starts doing it. Everybody started thinking it's okay to love people from another race. I mean, he's an Edomite, but he's better than a fake Israelite that says God loves everybody. He's better than a Christian that says everybody gonna be in the kingdom. Everybody gonna be in heaven. He's better than them, at least. No, they hate him for that. They say he's a racist pastor. He's a racist pastor. Nah, he's kind of on point. According to the Bible, he's on point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right, the zealot of Judah. When they ended segregation, I brought that out. Go ahead and give me that precept, Oscar Warren. What did I ask Warren? Salakia, I can't even remember. We don't went on so long. Salakia, let me see. Tobit 4 and 12.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
Let's get that fast. I'm trying to run through this real quick so I can get to the Maat.
So the book of
42
Tobit,
laws of Maat. Go ahead.
So the book of Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Uh-huh.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
This is Tobit's. His father is telling him to beware of all whoredom. And chiefly take a wife of your fathers. Take a wife from your people. That's what Tobit's father is telling him. Go ahead.
And take not a strange woman to wife.
Don't take a strange woman. Don't take a woman. Don't take a Nikki Haley, an East Indian woman. Don't take a, Caucasian woman. Don't take an African woman.
Right.
Don't take a Moabite woman. Take a woman that is Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Go ahead.
Which is not of thy father's tribe.
Which is not of thy father's tribe. Go ahead.
For we are the children of the prophets.
Because we are the children of the prophets. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you are the children of God. You are the biblical ethnic, you are the ethnic Israelites of the Bible. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you are the bloodline of the nation of Israel, the real Jews, the Israelites. So you take a wife from those people. Go ahead.
Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
We're the children of the prophets. Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Go ahead.
Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred.
And our forefathers married wives of their own kindred. You understand? Remember, Moses had different wives, but those wives, those seeds got put away. It was the seed that came through Isaac that was the promised seed. Ishmael got thrown to the side from his Egyptian wife Hagar. You understand? If you could, let's drop that. Give me what I want. Give me Judges 14 and 3.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is, but let's get it. Let me see what it is. Y'all stay tuned. Like at the end of class, I'm gonna play what I'm gonna play a new video. It's a remastered video that I've done before of Blind Tom. If you know who Blind Tom is, Blind Tom was a brother that was born into slavery. He was born blind. He had amazing talent and skills on the piano, and he was used his whole life because of his skills, and people made money off of him. And he didn't benefit from that. His mother didn't benefit from that, and he died of a stroke. Okay, we'll get to that. Go ahead.
The book of Judges, chapter 14 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then his father and his mother said unto him, Is there never a woman among the daughter of thy brethren, or among all my people, that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistine?
Damn. Now this is Samson. This is Samson's father telling him, like, damn, you like this woman Delilah, which was an African. You can't find no other woman of your people. It's not one woman that is worthy. Tiger Woods. It's not one woman that's worthy. It's not one woman from the hood that's worthy. OJ Simpson. It's not one woman that's worthy. Jonathan Majors. It's not one sister in the hood that's worthy. You successful, you rich. It's not, you can't find one Mexican sister. You can't find one black sister. You can't find, you gotta get that. This is what his father is saying. Like, damn, son, it ain't one sister in our nation that's worthy. You want the uncircumcised Philistines. You want another nation, right? And we're not going to get to the rest of the precepts on interracial marriage. I'll probably do it another time. But another point I want to make is that there are other women that are beautiful from other nations. There are beautiful, well, shit, I don't know. You'll have a hard time, but there's beautiful African women, beautiful East Indian women, beautiful Chinese women, beautiful white women. There's beautiful women from other nations, right? That's why the law had to be put in effect, because you know, King Solomon, you had different brothers that would go to these other nations. They would see a woman that looks good. They would see a woman that is desirable from another nation. But you got to always remember that your women are the most beautiful. I don't know if that's a word, beautifulest, but your women are the epitome of beauty. Every woman on the planet Earth wants to be like your women. They want to look like your women. They want to be shaped like your women. They want to have that. Like your women is what all the women in the world follow. That's why you have different nations of women filling their lips, trying to get their lips fat, putting stuff in their behind. And now you sisters is doing it when you don't even have to do it. It doesn't matter what you look like if you got the right spirit. The right spirit. If you come into the truth and you change and you have a virtuous spirit, you can make a man do whatever the hell you want him to do. Just by being soft-spoken and being a woman of the Lord. You can make a man do whatever you want him to do. He may seem like he will never do it. But when you speak to him softly and you're sweet and you're kind and you always have something, nice to say, you can make the meanest, strongest nigga say, you know what do you want me to do? I will bend the knee for you. I'm Jon Snow. I will get on my knee and bend my knee and say, what is it? What is it, my Lord? Go ahead. Go ahead.
So it's just like the scripture says, the head of the woman is the man, the head of the man is Christ.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the same way when we do what we're supposed to do under our King.
Mm-hmm.
He'll give it this. He says, if you pray, I'll give it to you.
I'll give it to you.
You serve me though.
The desires of your heart. Go ahead, Sawap.
I don't serve because when I was working on Friday, went through this recovery thing I'm working now, and I'd be around in the warehouse environment. I would be around teams of females because I was on a cherry picker, and I'd be listening to the conversation while I'm on cherry picker, and females always. Well, I ain't gonna say always, but it seems like more females are targeted on getting a man who has a lot of money, this, and that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I always tell females like you shouldn't worry. Don't worry about a man's money. You get to a man's heart and you really love him. That dude gonna do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To take care of you. Once that man and
a man will break it. He will break his. He will work. He will work hard. He will do what he have to do to make sure that you're taken care of. And that's in the world today where women are looking at it like, what is a man can, as far as money and monetary, what a man got, what he's going to, he's going to take care of me. Or a man will take care of you if he got a job and a half. If he got half of a job, he going to figure out a way to take care of you for that so you don't go through no hardship. He'll go through the hardship. But because of the way you carry yourself and the way that you talk and you're sweet and you're kind, and not just to him, but to people, just the way you carry yourself will make a man melt. It will make a man change. A man that would not, when it comes to, that thing that all men want. That's the same with all women. What really matters is your character and how you are. You can have a man. Give me Ashwar, if you could get the precept where the man is where the man sighs bitterly. It says like he's talking about his wife, but he is sigh bitterly. Like he'll be like, like because she gives him so much distress. It's a precept where it talks about it's like a woman giving him hardship, and he sighs bitterly, like, God damn. And it's just he's stressed out in a way. That's a precept. Let me go ahead, Sawab, while I try to help the brother find it.
Just agree with you. Just on a woman as far as her beauty, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was younger, I was real superficial.
Ecclesiasticus 25 and 18. 25 and 17. I want you to start there, but go ahead. Say that again.
I said when I was younger, coming up, I was real superficial.
Uh-huh.
I always had to be seen with what people call now as a bad beat.
As yeah.
And I went through a lot of hurt dealing with those relationships like that. But now in my older age, I realized, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, forget what you're looking at. I don't give a damn about that. I look at the heart. Like, even when I talk to, I can tell when it's a sister of my own nation, like when I'm doing phone conversation.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, all right, beautiful, you have a good day. I'm not saying it as a way to
try to get at her.
Game or nothing,
yeah.
But the way they deal with like customer service or whatever, it's like I can see the heart, the way that they deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, you can't even see me. How you know I'm beautiful? Like, because it's not about seeing you. It's about listening to your person.
Your demeanor and how you talk, and that goes a long way. How you carry yourself, your personality, and how you talk to people. It shows, a man that might be interested in you a lot about you. You know what I mean? And you don't have to be the most prettiest, the beautifulest woman on the planet Earth. Listen, I tell brothers, like when you're looking at sisters that you may want to court, listen, your wife don't have to look like Beyonce.
That's right.
She don't. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Your wife, don't measure it by physical attributes. Measure it by who they are. You know what I mean? Same with brothers. You measure a brother by who they are. That's why we have the 6-month rule. If you don't follow the 6-month rule, you can find yourself in a world of hell. You know what I mean? Because the exterior and the lust of the flesh is always going to get you. You found it? Oh, you got it. Go ahead, give me that real quick so we can get that. And then we're going to drop it after this, and I'm going to get the book of Maat, okay? 42 laws of Maat. The book of the dead, 42 laws of Maat. Go ahead.
So the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 25 and verse 18. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors.
Go. Is that a KJV? Skip up one more than that, because I'm trying to get the understanding of it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go up to
figure it out for me.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 25 and verse 16. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman.
Damn, he said I would rather dwell with a lion and a dragon. This is being sarcastic and it's being figuratively. Like, you want to be in a house with a lion? You want to sit in the house with a roaring lion? As far as a lion is a wild beast. A dragon is a wild mythical beast. Go ahead.
Verse 17. The wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth.
It says the wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and it darkened her countenance like sackcloth. Like, you look at the woman and she's just evil. She's contentious. She wants to argue. She always wants to rebuttal. She wants to murmur. She wants to go against you. She wants to establish her rule over you. Go ahead.
Verse 18. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors,
and
when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly.
It says her husband will sit amongst his neighbors, meaning he outside in the chief concourse of the city with the neighbors, with the elders sitting there, and he shall sigh bitterly. He shall say, "Oh, fuck. God damn. You don't want that out. You don't want that. I'm telling you now, you don't want that." But that's the point. The point is that that's the type of woman that you want, and she doesn't not that type of woman, but you want a woman that doesn't do that. You want a woman that when you sit amongst the elders, is it going to get to that? Is it going to go into something like that? Keep reading. Let me.
There's a lot, sir. A lot of good stuff.
Salaki, go ahead. Keep going. I ain't gonna hold you. Go ahead.
So verse 19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Verse 20, as the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man.
Damn. I didn't want to go into this. This was not my plan, but it says as they're climbing up, like you climbing up say you climbing up a hill. Y'all ever been to the beach? You know how it's hard to walk in the sand. Now imagine if you're walking uphill and you're elderly in the sand. That would be like going up a stair stepper, right? It says it's the same as a woman with a lot of words.
It says, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man.
To a quiet man. To a man that just wants some peace. You know what I mean? I didn't plan to go into that, but that's what that is. We're gonna drop that. Let's get the book of Maat, okay? So let me see. Give me a precept on Egypt. Let me think. What can we use? I'm gonna get the book of the Maat before his time is up because I want to get to this video. This Black Authentic Truth premiere. I'm gonna end with that. Go ahead.
What type of verse? Like any?
There's one verse that I think I want. It's a verse that has to deal with Egypt's destruction coming from the north. Keywords is Egypt destruction coming from the north. Okay. And I'm going to pull this up. Let me see where we at. It's the background.
Okay,
you got it? Okay, no sweat. You could just hold that. I'm gonna read this. So it says, "This is the book of Maat." So I keep saying Maat, the book of Maat. 42 laws of Maat. Okay. So before we go into this, no, I'm gonna go into this first, and then I'm gonna get the videos. So this is Maat. The depictions of Maat as a goddess begin to appear as early as the middle of the Old Kingdom, 2680 to 2190 BC, and showed Maat as a woman sitting or standing and holding the scepter in one hand and the ankh in the other. You know, you Negroes love to have that ankh. That ankh you talk about is the key to life, right? An ostrich feather often decorated the goddess's head. Maat was responsible for balance between the gods and people and between the two sexes. Maat also symbolized wisdom, truth, and justice, and Maat gods were considered to be judges or other important state officials representing the laws of being true, truth, and universal order. So Maat also could represent officials in ancient Egypt. Now, the number one god in ancient Egypt was the Pharaoh. Okay, and we're going to get to that real quick. Let me see. I think I have a video. Let me get a video real quick, and then I'm gonna come back. I got like 3 videos, so y'all bear with me. Now, what y'all hear a lot is that when it comes to our people following Egyptology and believing that we are Egyptians, a lot of our brothers and sisters follow this stuff. So a lot of them are saying that, or you probably heard this before, that the Bible is copied, the stories are copied, they're plagiarized. So I'm gonna go into like 3 videos just to get a foundation of the argument, and then we'll go back and then I'll finish up. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you now that we may go probably about 20 minutes over time. Okay. I'm just looking at it. I'm trying to estimate. So let me get to it. So the first video I want to get is this sister. It's a sister here. And I'm gonna skip to
So today we're talking about the goddess Maat because we're in Maat season. Yet they mummified them, and that was as a means to preserve their bodies to help them journey into the afterlife. One of the places that you journey through when journeying into the afterlife is through the hall of Maat. That is where you are judged and your heart is weighed on a scale against a feather.
So when it comes to Maat, and let me just pull this up, what she's talking about is the fact that when you die, now Maat had the ostrich feather. If you remember what I just showed you, let me see. She had the ostrich feather, and basically, when you died, you would go to the underworld, and then your heart would be weighed. So you see the scale on one side of Anubis, that's the dog-headed god. You have a ostrich feather, and on the other side, you have the heart of the person that died. This is the papyrus of Ani. So they get this from a papyrus that was for a certain person that had died. This is not so. Let me just preface this by saying, when it comes to the 42 laws of Maat, these are books that are put together through different time periods, different millennia of the history of the ancient Egyptians. So it's not even clear that all the ancient Egyptians believed in this. This is something new that white people put together that black people now follow. Kind of like the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch is not real. It's there's a verse in the Bible about the Book of Enoch, but when you first open the Book of Enoch, it talks about it being wholly rewritten. And they found little pieces and fragments of the Book of Enoch, about probably like 10 of them, little tiny fragments. And then a British white man wrote everything else. So the Book of Enoch that you have today is firewood. So it's the same idea with this. It's all put together, but now they comprised it into something called the Book of the Dead, that you hear a lot of people that follow Egyptology, they follow it. But they can't even say that everybody followed it in ancient Egypt, because they get pieces of it in different, like some of this stuff is written on stuff that was inside of people's burials, and they put it all together in one book. It's called the 42 Laws of Maat. And the goddess Maat was the goddess of, universe, of balance, of healing, and all that. But they believe that when you die, you would go to the underworld in the afterlife, and your heart would be weighed. And if your heart was heavier than the feather, that means it's all bad for you. You know what I mean? Let me get back to it. So I can.
And that determines the way that you lived on earth, whether you fulfilled the purpose that you came to fulfill. If you treated others with kindness and you were fair and you basically adhered to the 42 principles of Maat. So that is the guideline as to how to live. That's basically what Maat is about. Maat sees.
Okay, so let me drop that. Let me get my next video. Y'all stay with me, because you're getting an education right now. I promise you. Now let me get this right here. This is the brother talking about it.
On this earthly plane, governed by the 10 Commandments.
Yes.
That the word of God, or did that come from something called the Book of the Dead?
Well, I recall James Henry Breasted, who was a famous American Egyptologist at the University of Chicago, established the Oriental Institute in, I think, around 1935. James Henry Breasted got in trouble for saying that the 10 Commandments were derived from the 42 admonitions of Maat. What does that mean? Maat in ancient Kemet was the overriding force that governed everything in the universe. She represented the principles of justice, balance, harmony, and that there were 42 admonitions of Maat. Some of them were, I have not stolen, I have not robbed, I have not defrauded offerings, I have not polluted myself, I have not polluted the land, I have not committed adultery, I have not spoken ill against God. And so it is from the 42 admonitions of Maat that Moses derived the 10 Commandments. And so there is a profound difference between an admonition of Maat, where one declares your innocence and says, I have not done X, Y, and Z. And a commandment where people without a profound understanding of Maat must be commanded not to do things that a person in their right mind would know not to do. So these are cultural differences that are based upon another culture appropriating aspects of African culture and interpreting it through their own cultural lens.
So you heard what he said. He said the man asked him about the 10 Commandments being taken from the 42 laws of Maat. He said that it has been appropriated. These things have been taken from the 10 Commandments. Now I'll get one more and then we'll move on. Let me get this one.
Yeah, greetings. In a couple clips back, I mentioned the Egyptian Book of the Dead, or what we would call the Coming Forth by Day. This is a book that shows you how the Egyptians live spiritually, politically, and just everyday life. These are the laws. They call it the 42 divine principles. These are the laws that govern Egypt long before Moses. As a matter of fact, the 10 Commandments was extrapolated from the 42 divine principles of Maat.
So he said the 10 Commandments was extrapolated from the fine principles of Maat. Now I'm going to pull up the fine principles of Maat, okay? This is the 42 laws of Maat. I'm going to read some of them. I will not do wrong. I will not steal. I will not act with violence. I will not kill. I will not be unjust. I will not cause pain. I will not waste food. I will not lie. I will not desecrate holy places. I will not speak evil. I will not abuse my sexuality. I will not cause the shedding of tears. I will not sow seeds of regret. I will not be an aggressor. I will not act guilefully. I will not lay waste the plowed land. I will not bear false witness. I will not speak against any person. I will not be wrathful and angry. I will not lay with any man's wife. I will not lay with a woman's husband. I will not pollute myself. I will not cause terror. I will not pollute the earth. Now I'm going to stop right here. Now, when you look up the 42 laws of Maat, if I was to read some of these on the left-hand side, I was reading the ones on the right-hand side. A lot of times, well, every time, it's reworded differently. You understand? That's not a big deal here. The big deal here is that when you really go through it, what I found is that the main things that it talks about is stealing, lying, and fornication. A lot of things are being said over again, just in a different way. Let me repeat that. A lot of things are being said over again, just in a different way. And the most the number one things that you see, the themes that you see is stealing, lying, and fornication. Those are the top three things that I extrapolated. I'm using a big word right now. That I took from the book of Maat is lying, stealing, and fornication. You get lying and stealing and fornication in the 10 Commandments. But the problem with a lot of these people is that they don't know the Bible. They don't read the Bible. They don't understand that there's more than 10 commandments. There's laws, statutes, and commandments, ways to live by. A lot of black people go by the 42 laws of Maat and say this is morality for the ancient Egyptians. Well, why in the hell the ancient Egyptians ain't here still? Why is ancient Egypt no longer? Why in the hell is ancient Egypt a place where tourists go every day and throw trash and there's piles of trash by the pyramids and Asian tourists piss in the corner of the pyramids? That great place that was called ancient Egypt is no longer. I wonder why. Was they following the 42 laws of Maat? Did it make them better? Did it make them stronger? Did it make them more righteous? You see, when it comes to our people here in America, especially black people, because you know what you'll start to notice is that black people really, really think that they're the ancient Egyptians. But West Africans in Nigeria and Ghana don't claim to be the ancient Egyptians. Well, nigga, ain't that where you came from? Ain't that where they captured you and put you on ships and sold you to Europeans? Why didn't the slaves talk about ancient Egypt in Maat? You didn't even know about ancient Egypt until some white man went over there and dug up the graves of those pharaohs. When they was in the 1800s, when they was over there digging up pharaohs, black people was in slavery. You was in chains, nigga. You wasn't even allowed to read. They burned your eyes out for reading the Bible. So why is it that we have this affinity for ancient Egypt? There was great kingdoms in West Africa. You don't know about Mali? You don't know about Timbuktu? You don't know about the Hebrew kingdom of Lam in West Coast of Africa? Excuse me. You don't know about that. Because the white man don't romanticize about that in his movies. He romanticized about being an ancient Egyptian. So what you saw on the big screen and what you see in books is ancient Egypt, all the pyramids and the gold. You skip over all of West Africa and go straight to ancient Egypt. Now the 42 laws, they say, now we just seen three videos? Well, 2 videos of people saying that the 10 Commandments was taken from the 42 laws of Maat. But you can break the 42 laws of Maat down to 3 things: stealing, lying, and fornication. 10 Commandments got that covered. Fornication would be adultery. Stealing and lying. That's in the 10 Commandments. But what about other laws? What about man being with another man? Do you got that in the book of Maat? Do you got that? What about what to eat? Don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Do you got that in the book of Maat? What about how you treat your brother? Do you got that in the book of Maat? It's not there. What in the hell are you talking about? People that say that, first of all, number one, they're a parrot. You know, like a parrot will repeat what you say. And they repeat what they done heard some other black person say without doing the thorough research to figure out, like, wait a minute, the Bible got 600 laws. How could this come from that? And furthermore, what I will say to that, when people say, well, that's the inspiration that Moses got for his laws. Moses didn't make the damn laws. Moses went on the mountain and the Lord gave him the 10 Commandments. The Lord gave Moses those, not the 10 Commandments, but he gave him the commandments. The Lord gave Moses the commandments. What about an unclean law? What about a woman being on her flower and can't be around the congregation? You don't have that in the 42 laws of Maat. It's so many things that the 42 laws of Maat is missing. But you know what? Who does have the 42 laws of Maat? A primitive culture. I said this last week. You can go to any damn jungle monkey people in some damn far reach of the Amazon, and they'll have laws like don't kill, don't sleep with another man's wife, don't take my stuff, or else. They'll have laws like that. What the hell y'all talking about? Black people are so simple and so damn stiff-necked. You're dumb. You were not the ancient Egyptians. You are the seed of Israel. You are not the Egyptians. You are not Hamites. You can't figure it out. You can't figure it out that you are a different people from the Hamites. Black people talk all about how Africans don't like them, how we don't get along. They don't even understand their history, and they don't know that all is tied in to who they are, who you are as a people. You don't even understand that disconnect from the motherland, from my homeland, that disconnect that you have with those Africans is because they sold you, nigga. They put you on cargo slave ships and sold you to the Europeans. They went and warred with you and fought with you and carried you to those castles on the coast, and you sat there. Then you went on a ship and you landed in Virginia. You landed in the West Indies. You landed in Europe, nigga. You're so simple, but you're so smart. You're so intellectual. You're Pan-African. You know, it's a global Pan-Africanism. Nigga, it ain't never been no global unity based on the fact that you dark skinned. Based on the fact that you got melanin in your skin. Nikki Haley got melanin in her skin, and she said racism, America is not a racist country. How about that? An East Indian saying America is not a racist country. Yeah, because you're not, anybody with melanin skin don't mean you're the same people. You don't see eye to eye. You don't think the same. What the hell is wrong with you Negroes, man? I can go to Batumbo and the Batumbo Butu with a bone in his damn nose, and his community is gonna have laws. Don't kill, don't steal, don't mess with another man's woman. Don't be trying to take other people's stuff. They're going to have them basic laws like the 42 laws of Maat. It ain't nothing deep. But do they have laws that a man shouldn't be with another man? You shouldn't eat this. Don't touch this. Don't eat pork. Don't eat shrimp. Don't eat these things. No, they won't have that. Like the 42 laws of Maat don't have that. Listen, man, you're the Israelites. You're the God. You're God's chosen people. He chose you for a reason, man. You're not special because just because. You're not the brightest, and you don't shine the brightest in the world, and everybody wants to follow you just because. Nigga, you was the slaves. Think about that for a minute. You was the oppressed. You were the people that everybody takes a dump on. But the world still loves you. It's because the Lord put a star in the seed of Jacob. He put something that shines in the seed of Jacob, man. And the faster that you realize who you are, man, then everything will change overnight for God's chosen people for you. With that, that's the class, man. Let's clap it up, man. The book of Maat, the Bible never stole anything from the book of Maat. The book of Maat is the book of Maat. And the Bible is for the Israelites, and it has law, statute, and commandments that when people would look at the Israelites, they would say, damn, these people are wise. These people are understanding people. These people are smart. These people are talented. These people have the answer. Listen, I don't know how to handle this situation with my people. I'm going to go to the Israelites because they got the answer. The Bible would give us that type of wisdom to run the world. That's what the Lord wants us to do, man. So lock it. Well, I'm about to play this video. Y'all stay tuned. Listen, the water to all of y'all. The water, let me run it down real quick. We don't want over time. No, we didn't even go as far as I said I was. It's 9:12. Let me get some of these names up in here. Young Man D, Shalom to you. Olivia Arnold. Always that Arnold. Olivia Arnold. Renee Gaines. Halak Ban Yashikar. That Gamer Honesty 06. Princess Nakaf. Our Rock is in the house. Las Vegas. Sister Baratha Nawa is in the house. San Bernardino. Trooper Kodash is in the house. Let me see who else is in here. I know some more people. Davion Perchu is in the house. What's up, Davion? My boy right there. Greg Neal's in the house. Shalom. Shalom, Greg. Yeah, and we're gonna there's somebody else in here. It was in the Queen Lanier's in the house. Sister Ila's in the house. Bakersfield. What's good? Yeah, we're about to get up out of here. Make sure that y'all stay tuned for the video I'm gonna play, and then we up out of here. Shalom, Israel. Let me get that. Slap it up. Let me see.
As a young black man, I have an obligation to my race of people, not to no other race or no other nationality, just to black people.
And you have always hated us. We have loved you consistently for 400 years. We prayed to that white Jesus, and we saluted your flag, and we died in your militaries, and you beat us like dogs.
Thomas Wiggins, also known as Blind Tom, was born in Columbus, Georgia in 1849 on a slave plantation owned by Wiley Jones. Believing his blindness would be of no profit to the plantation, his master had planned to sell him off, but Tom's mother Charity fought to keep him with the rest of his family. She arranged for herself, her husband Domingo, Tom, and her other children to be sold as a group to a different master, General James Bethune. Though the diagnosis did not exist in the 19th century, current historians believe Wiggins was an autistic savant. An autistic savant is a person affected with autism who exhibits exceptional skill, brilliance, or amazing talent in certain fields. The skills at which savants excel are generally related to memory. This may include rapid calculation, artistic ability, map making, or musical ability. As a young child, Tom was fascinated with sound. He would mimic bird calls in trains. Tom also would rock back and forth constantly. His master looked at him as subhuman and said to his mother, educating him would be like educating a dog. Bethune and his family would teach Tom one-worded commands. When the Bethune girls would have piano lessons, Tom would listen in from outside the room. To the family's astonishment, Tom would play back what he had heard. By age 6, Tom was able to compose his own music by mimicking sounds he heard every day. Seeing Tom as an investment, Bethune provided musical lessons for him. An instructor told him that Tom could learn skills in a few hours that require others years to perfect. When Tom was 8, he was hired out to a Savannah tobacco planter and concert promoter, Perry Oliver. Tom had his first concert in 1857. He was promoted as something of a circus freak, an otherworldly combination of heaven-sent talent and terrifying disability. At this age, he could learn others' compositions with astonishing ease. They traveled from town to town and state to state, netting Bethune and Oliver large sums of money. Tom's concerts consisted of 4 shows a day, which was very grueling. He was one of the highest paid pianists of his time, earning Bethune and Oliver the modern equivalent of over $1 million a year. Wiggins is believed to be the first African-American artist to perform at the White House when he played for President James Buchanan in 1860. By that time, Blind Tom had toured the United States and was a national musical sensation. Those at the White House command performance in the Executive Mansion were amazed that such moving and masterful music flowed from someone who suffered apparent mental deficiencies, as well as blindness, and also was a Negro, in an era when even many abolitionist whites presumed all blacks to be an inherently inferior race. One newspaper critic in attendance reported that Blind Tom's musical skills surpassed Mozart's. Tom played original compositions drawn from his detailed observations of nature and pieces by other composers. Though he appeared happy while being absorbed in his piano playing, Wiggins' apparent joy hid the misery he experienced off the stage. He was isolated from other people when he wasn't performing in front of an audience. This mistreatment caused him to develop anxiety and depression. In concerts, audience members would call out the names of any musical piece and Tom would play it perfectly on the spot. Theater patrons would even approach the stage for a duel. They would play a composition on Tom's piano that they created, and Tom would play it back perfectly. One evening, an audience member sat at Tom's piano on stage and began to play. His chosen composition was intricate and involved him moving his hand apart down the length of the piano. When he reached the end, the player threw his head down and struck a key with his nose. As Tom resumed his position to play back what he had heard, the audience members sat in suspense. Tom played up to the note that was struck 2 or 3 times, obviously confused. But in the final play, with Tom's hand stretched to the ends of the piano, Tom dropped his head and hit the correct key with his nose. A witness reported that he thought that the roof of the building would collapse due to the roar of the audience's response to Tom having called the trick. In another performance, Tom played one song with his left hand
and another with his right hand, and sang a song at the same time, all in different pitches. He was known to jump up from his bench after his performances and lead the audience in their applause, applauding himself. At the height of Tom's career, his repertoire of performance music was said to consist of 7,000 compositions, including many of his own. Even during the Civil War, Wiggins continued to perform. During this period, the 14-year-old Wiggins composed the Battle of Manassas, his best-known piece. Tom had heard first-hand accounts from Confederate soldiers and sons about the war, which inspired him to create the composition. They took Tom to Savannah, Georgia to perform, raising $5,000 in donations for the Confederate cause. General Bethune convinced Tom's parents to sign a 5-year agreement giving him legal guardianship of Tom in case of a Confederate defeat. In 1870, the guardianship contract ended, and Tom was 21 years old. However, General Bethune then requested that the courts declare Tom legally insane to continue the guardianship, and the courts complied. Tom's fame grew immensely as he played sonatas by Beethoven, works by Liszt, and his original compositions in standing room only theaters and concert halls. Time between tours was spent at Bethune's new home in Warrenton, Virginia, or apartments in New York City, where Tom took lessons. Mark Twain became so fascinated with Blind Tom's story that he once attended concerts 3 nights in a row, later writing a vivid account. By 1879, Tom's concerts and sales of his sheet music were making a fortune annually, but Tom and his family received no compensation. The Bethunes received 90% of his earnings. After the Civil War, Bethune's son, John, took over the management of Tom, and he used Wiggins' considerable income to support his extravagant lifestyle. John Bethune and Tom continued to tour, crisscrossing the United States and Europe. In 1882, John married his landlady, Eliza Stutbach. Shortly after their marriage, John left with Tom on an extended tour of the United States, leaving Eliza behind. When Bethune returned home 8 months later, his wife filed for divorce. The couple split up, but a bitter legal squabble ensued, with Eliza hounding John for financial support. The courts ruled in John's favor. John Bethune would later die in a railway accident in 1884, and Tom was returned to General Bethune, who at the time was living in Virginia. Eliza sued General Bethune for custody, with Tom's mother Charity, who was convinced to join the suit, believing she would live with her son. After a long custody battle in several courts, in August 1887, Tom was awarded to Eliza, along with monetary rewards for Tom's creative talents. Eliza married her lawyer in the suit, Abrick Lurch, and Wiggins' earnings were used to purchase a country home in New Jersey's Navesink Highlands and Monmouth County, where Tom would live part-time, and the rest spent in a tenement building in New York City's Greenwich Village. Eliza and her new husband added more dates to Tom's busy schedule for a life of constant travel and performances. After her divorce from Lurch, Eliza moved to a house in Hoboken, New Jersey in 1903, which she had purchased with Wiggins' earnings. Tom's final years were spent in his room at this New Jersey home. Charity Wiggins resented that she could not be near her son because he had been taken away from her due to these legal battles. She is quoted in an article having said, "They won't let Thomas come see me, and I am not allowed to see him." She always referred to him as Thomas. Charity died in 1905 at the age of 108 in Birmingham, Alabama. Tom continued playing for hours at a time until stopping abruptly weeks before his death, suffering from a stroke that partially paralyzed his hands. On the night that he died, Eliza could hear Tom trying to play the piano, but becoming frustrated by his paralysis. Through his sobs, Eliza heard him say, "I'm done. I'm all gone, missus," followed by a thunderous thud of his body collapsing on the floor. Tom died from a stroke at the age of 59 on June 13, 1908. There is considerable debate, however, about his burial site. Initially, he was interred in the Evergreen Cemetery in Brooklyn, New York, though some argue at the time that the body buried there was not Blind Tom's. Others believe that Wiggins was initially buried there, but was later exhumed and reinterred near his birthplace in Columbus. Today, 2 plaques, one in Brooklyn and another in Columbus, mark the resting place of Blind Tom. This is the story of a musical prodigy, a genius, Thomas Wiggins, also known to the world as Blind Tom.
And I know where I'm going to.